My dad liked the Eagles, right?
Yeah, he sure did.
Was he good at math? Thank you.
Yeah, your daddy was a smart kid.
Such a heartbreaking scene because we've been through so much of Mike's journey. He's had such a hard life.
So instead, my dad decided to be a policeman. Like you.
Yeah. You make sure those are nice and even.
He was a really good policeman, right?
Yes.
He's been through so much trauma, and then to see this beautiful relationship that he has with Maddie kind of go up in smoke.
And you taught him.
Uh-huh.
The bad guys got him.
I told you to make those even. You either do it right or you don't do it.
But I want to do it.
You're done. You are done!
I think that we can look at this really simplistically, that his son's death, it's just overwhelming and too much for him, and because Maddie brings it up, that he explodes. But I think that it goes much deeper than that, and a lot into Mike and how he sees himself as a person.
Yes.
I got him.
Where are you now?
About 8 miles north of San Ysidro.
And where was he?
Place called Dulce Vega Hot Springs up in Yumez. It's gotta be where his wife is headed.
Mike has gone through all of these hurdles to try to keep Ziegler alive, to be able to keep him protected and safe. And I think that part of that is because he wasn't able to keep his son safe. And so he lives by a code, and he's very ardent, very black and white about this code. He doesn't take extra money even though he could, because he does a job and there's a contract, and he believes in it. He shoots straight. He says what he means, and he means what he says.
When I found him, he was on the phone with an interested party pretending to be one of your guys.
What did he tell them?
Nothing useful.
You're certain?
Yes.
So even though he could protect Ziegler by not saying he said anything, he still tells Gustavo because that's the truth.
All right, I'll bring him in now.
No. Keep him there. Wait.
I'd go another way.
That I know.
And you can hear that pause when he realizes that the reason that they're going to keep him there at this remote location is that they're going to kill Ziegler. And Mike's done everything to be able to not have to kill anyone. Even if killing could be easier and cleaner and less of a risk to him, he still doesn't want to have to kill anyone else. Except for, of course, the bad people that killed his son.
That'd be a mistake.
This discussion serves no purpose. Wait where you are.
I'll take care of it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The reason that Mike decides that he's going to take care of Ziegler is, one, because it's the more honorable thing to do. He feels responsible. He's the one that allowed Ziegler to get away. It was on his shift, but he's also developed a friendship with him. And in that friendship, he feels that it's respectful, that it's by his hand that he kills him, even though it's going to be a huge emotional cost to Mike. Plus, he may be able to save Ziegler's wife and have Ziegler understand why this has to happen.
God damn it.
And that emotional strength that he's going to go through with something even though everything in his body says don't, because that's his code. This is what has to happen. Mike plays by the rules of the game, even if he doesn't agree with them.
Is there no other way, truly?
Right, you'll hit the main highway in 4 miles. Passport and some tickets.
All these men know that Mike had Ziegler killed.
I will never say anything. It had to be done. In truth, he was soft.
He was worth 50 of you.
And his feelings towards Ziegler is really shown through this, because the one that insults Ziegler, he punches, he hits him because he doesn't feel it's true. He really feels that Ziegler handled himself with respect and care, even though he made mistakes. And the one that insults him, he lets go and says absolutely nothing, because in his heart, he feels the same way. He regrets that he had to do this, and he had quite a kinship with Ziegler also. For Mike, he really blames himself for not being able to protect him and keep him safe.
The bad guys got him.
I told you to make those even. You either do it right or you don't do it.
But I want to do it.
You're done. You are done!
The reason that Mike explodes isn't just all of the reasons that we gave before, but also he now sees himself as those bad people that killed his son, a good person, just like Ziegler was a good person, which ends up making himself that bad man. And that feeling of regret and pain of reflecting on yourself and having to make a mistake and not being able to protect and not having any control over everything around you. When you can't share it with anyone, you can't let it out, and you've repressed all these feelings, you end up like this boilerplate. And we often take out that aggression on the ones that are easiest for us to take it out on. The ones that they'll have the least amount of a physical altercation or repercussion or won't call us out on it. And so Maddie ends up being this placeholder for all of his hurt and pain and regret, because in her innocent eyes, seeing the world in this very black and white, just like Mike does, he's the bad man. This was my most heartbreaking scene for Mike because I really feel for him. I love the way that he handles everything and takes care of it. Let me know, what are your favorite Mike scenes and what is your interpretation of why he yelled at Maddie?